All right, what's up, everybody? Excuse me. Welcome to Gonzo Sports Room GSR. Big show here Monday night, January 23rd, 2023. That date had me all tongue twisted all day. But a little change tonight. Usually we have Gonzo and the judge. That show's going to be on pause for a little bit. The judge decided to take another opportunity that he felt was good for him. So hey, you gotta do what's best, what you think's best for you. So we support him in that. But we're still going to be doing the show Monday, Wednesday, Friday at 11. We're just going to go back to the original show name, GSR Gonzo Sports Room. Be me, Chris Gonzalez, and also my dad Tony Gonzalez, and we'll have guests come on as well. So still be an entertaining show. Won't a whole lot change. We'll probably talk some more a little more pro wrestling than what we used to. But we know a lot of people enjoy that as well. So, but no, before we do talk some pro wrestling tonight, because we'll jump right into Monday Night Raw. I figured let's talk a little NFL playoffs first.
Okay.
But what do you think about the divisional round playoff weekend? I thought it was one of the better divisional rounds we've had over the last few years.
Yeah, I thought they were real. Had some close games, had some interesting games. I thought the Dallas San Francisco game was a real interesting game. It was a solid, great defensive game. Thought the Bengals had a fantastic performance against Buffalo. Pretty much dominated them for most of that game. I mean, the score ended up being pretty close in the Jacksonville game this weekend, but they were Kansas City had control of that game also. And of course, Philadelphia. I mean, the score ended up being pretty close. Was pretty dominant in their win. So, but I think we got some big, really good playoff games coming up this Sunday.
Yeah, I got one blowout in this round. That was the Eagles. They blew them out. Don't get me wrong, the Bengals pretty much dominated the Bills that game. But Mike, you said shout out to Jonathan. All love always.
Yep, most definitely. Jonathan's a good dude.
And then, hey, what's going on, Billy? But no, I thought it was a very entertaining game. I saw some people. I heard on some sports talk shows earlier that people were complaining that the 49ers and Dallas game was a boring football game.
I didn't think so.
If just because there's not a lot of points scored doesn't mean it was a boring football game. I thought it was an entertaining game to watch. The defenses both were battling, played well, and it came down to who made less mistakes.
That was hard hitting.
The rookie quarterback outplayed Dak Prescott and made less mistakes, and his team won. I mean, that was pretty much it. The Dallas defense gave them plenty of opportunities to win that game. I mean, they held 49ers team that was scoring close to 30 points a game to what?
19.
To 19. But the same thing with San Francisco's defense. Dallas scores close to 30 points a game usually. It couldn't score.
Held them
12. They couldn't score anything.
Couldn't get a touchdown. Well, they did get a touchdown, but missed extra point.
Yeah. It got blocked.
It got blocked, but it wasn't going to be any good anyway.
Okay, he was missed it anyway. It wasn't going to matter. The Eagles, that game, it was over. That game was over in the first quarter. I had picked the Giants. That was the game I got wrong. I picked the Giants. I liked the way the Giants were playing, and I didn't know how Philadelphia was going to look and how Hurts was going to look, because they didn't look good that last week.
Yeah.
Well, and I'll tell you what, they came out and they looked good.
Well, most of the season, Eagles, the games that they've won, they've been dominant on the line, offensive line and defensive line, and they were this game. Now it's going to be interesting. I'm not saying they can't be, but it's going to be interesting if they can be dominant with San Francisco. I don't know that they can be as dominant, so it should be a really good game. And Cincinnati and Kansas City, I think, will be a great game too. I know a lot of people are going to be worried about the quarterback for KC. I think he's going to play. I think he'll probably be 75% at least, and I think that with the coaches he's got, they'll game plan and they'll be right there winning that game or really close. I think it's going to be a really good game.
Yeah. Billy said that the 49ers and Dallas would have been better if his Cowboys would have won. He said Dak once again can't get it done. Yeah, it came down, and I did. It came down to Dak making some mistakes, but also his receivers. nobody stepped up other than CD Lamb. None of the other receivers really stepped up. So I think they need another weapon on the receiver. But I've been saying this for a couple of years, and you know it is that I think that they need a new offensive coordinator. I haven't been sold on that Kellen Moore. I know a lot of people like him, but I don't know. I haven't been sold on him.
Yeah, I agree with you. I thought there was a lack of creativity in his calling, especially after the first half. They had nothing going. I didn't see him really making many changes. I thought they were a lot more creative against Tampa Bay. Of course, Tampa Bay don't have near the defenses 49ers have, of course. But I thought Dak moved a lot more, tried to run the ball more against Tampa Bay. I didn't see. I mean, try something.
Yeah.
Try something, and I didn't really see him trying anything. Maybe 49ers defense was just too much for him. I mean, I don't know, but Dak made some big mistakes at the wrong time. And I seen a thing with him that he blamed himself.
Yeah.
So I give him credit there.
It's one thing I always will give Dak credit for. He'll get up there and he'll take the blame. He don't try to put it off on anybody. If he messes up, he's going to go up there and he'll apologize for it. It's not going to happen again. But the problem was this year, he had 6 or 7 games where he threw 2 or more interceptions. I mean, that's going to come back to kill you at some point.
I don't think you need to be throwing the ball. And I know, and I'm not sure how many times they even threw the ball that game. They probably didn't have as many possessions as a lot of times what they have. But with Pollard getting hurt, especially, that hurt. I don't know if it should be 50-50, but I don't know that you want Dak throwing the ball 45, 50 times a game.
You're not going to win a championship if Dak has to throw the ball 40, 45 times a game. He's not that kind of quarterback.
That's what I think too.
Bengals and Bills. The Bills just got dominated on the line of scrimmage by a Bengals team missing three of their starting offensive linemen. We kind of mentioned this a little bit earlier on one of our other shows, but we didn't go deep into it. But I think the Bills coaching staff got out coached in that game. I think the Cincinnati coaching staff adjusted to the weather better. Cincinnati came out, played physical, and just took control of that game from the get-go. And it was more physical than the Bills were the whole game. And usually the Bills are known for a physical team because of Josh Allen being physical. But the Bengals just controlled the line of scrimmage. Yeah. Did Josh Allen play great? No, but he was getting hit. He was getting killed out there. He has to play better. But like I said earlier, they have to commit to a run game. You have everybody's they don't have a running back. Singletary averaged like 4.5 yards a carry this season, or I think a little above that, just under 5. That's not bad. That's good. But you got to commit to a run game. You can't. That's another thing. You can't depend on trying to throw the ball 40 to 50 times a game and always winning, because sometimes timing's going to be off, or referees are not going to be as loose on calling pass interference and stuff, and your pass game don't get in a rhythm.
Well, in a cold weather like that, and they're going to be in cold weather in Buffalo, you got to be able to run the football effectively, and like I said, not being committed to it and trying to throw the ball. And I thought Davis disappeared. I think that's his name. I think I got it right.
Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis disappeared. He had a couple of drops. I think he disappeared. Diggs did what he could, but Diggs also got an attitude problem, in my opinion. I think he's always had a little bit of one. I mean, I understand he thinks he was open, but you may be open down here, but when your quarterback's getting pressured like crazy, he may not be able to get it to you. So, and I think it's very, very unprofessional for Diggs to leave. And basically, as soon as the game is over, or before the game is over, but yelling at his quarterback.
Well, especially when you look what a rookie quarterback in Jacksonville, which we'll talk about that game in a minute. But did you see what Trevor Lawrence done after the game?
Oh, yeah.
You're talking about a guy in his second year compared to a guy that's been in the league, 6-7 years? Yep. And look at the leadership difference that was shown. Look, that you had a guy that met every one of his guys in the tunnel, giving them a hug, and you know what I mean, basically putting on his shoulders, and that means a lot to that team. And hey, that Jaguars team is going to be a scary team here next season. And I'd say, especially in a couple of years.
Yeah, build up that offensive line.
They got a lot of young talent.
They got a lot of weapons. They're going to work on the offensive line.
And they're getting ready to add Calvin Ridley.
Yep.
You had Calvin Ridley, that receiving staff that moves Kirk down to a number 2, where I think that's what he should be.
Yeah.
I think he's more of a number 2 than a number 1. And then you got that Zay Jones, who's a young guy that's improving. So and then you got they got a Jones the third, or a Jones Jr.
Marvin Jones.
Yeah. So I mean they have some weapons out there. Improve that offensive line a little bit, and then tighten up that defense a little bit. Which that defense started playing better towards the end of the season.
It did.
Hey, that defense played a good game against Kansas City.
Not bad.
The offense just couldn't get nothing going. That defense played well enough, especially early in that game.
Well, there was
to where they had chances to be in that game and maybe win it.
Yeah, they had chances and they couldn't get anything going. And you guys give Kansas City's defense stepped up. They stepped up. They knew they had to, and they did.
But here's my question: Kansas City won, but how healthy can Patrick Mahomes be coming in off this high ankle sprain in a week?
It's hard to say.
And how much is that going to affect this AFC Championship game? It could have a big effect on it. And like I said earlier, they'll give him a shot, and I think he'll try to play. But like I said, Dwight Freeney had that high ankle sprain. I know it's a different position and movement, but that shot lasted like a half for him, and then in the second half, it was like he wasn't even out there no more. So I know quarterback's a little different, and Mahomes, one thing that's good for him, he can throw the ball with pretty decent without having to play on that ankle, so and that'll help. But it's going to be offensive line's going to have to protect, and then he's going to have to get the ball out quick. I think it's going to limit them throwing the ball down the field more. I think they're going to have to get the ball out quick, and they're going to try to get a running game going with McKinnon and Panchero.
And you might see a little bit more because they didn't throw in other games they've thrown a lot to McKinnon. This game they didn't throw a lot to McKinnon. You may see that added more because they're in the last 6 or 7 games a year. McKinnon was catching 5 or 6 balls a game. I don't think he did that this game, and you may see them have to do that because they're going to have to shorten up some of them passing routes because, like you said, I don't think he's going to be able to throw as deep.
Yeah,
and he may not be able to buy time because he's not going to be as mobile. But he's still smart, very smart quarterback. There's no doubt about that.
Oh yeah. It's going to be interesting because that Bengals team looks so dominant against the Bills, which we'll talk about that. But what playoff game haven't we talked about yet?
Didn't talk too much about the Giants, but
Giants got blown out by the Eagles. Yeah. That wasn't very much. Then you had the Chiefs and Jaguars was a good game.
Yep.
Cowboys and 49ers, I thought was an excellent game. I couldn't believe people complained about that. And another one was the Bills, right? Yeah, Bills and Bengals. And the Bills just didn't show up. I mean, you can't blame it all on Josh Allen, but he didn't play a great game. No other receiver really stepped up to, and the tight end had a couple catches, but he couldn't get going.
No, they struggled. Like you said, they got blown off the ball.
Yeah,
Bengals,
line of scrimmage.
Line of scrimmage. They got dominated.
It was like the Bengals adjusted to the weather better than they did. It really was.
Yeah, and the other thing with the 49ers game, their game plan, you look at that fourth quarter, they changed things up and started running the ball with Mitchell and 8 time off the clock. And Mitchell had 10 or 11 carries in the fourth quarter, in the second half, fourth quarter. And, had like 55 yards on 10, 11 carries. It's averaging 5 yards a carry. And Dallas is, even though the defense played great, was starting to wear down just a little bit because the offense wasn't doing a lot. So.
Oh yeah, that was. And a lot of people saying McCarthy should be fired. I don't think McCarthy should be fired. I think McCarthy's done a good job at Dallas. I know it's Super Bowl bust every year for Dallas. I understand that. A lot of that's because of their owner, but he's done a good job. They've won 12 games the last 2 seasons. They haven't been able to get it done in the playoffs. But I don't think it was because of his coaching decisions. I agree. Maybe I think they should get rid of the offensive coordinator. He's the only one that was there before McCarthy. Let McCarthy bring in his own offensive coordinator and see if maybe that helps. You let him do that like the defensive coordinator when you let him bring in Quinn, and look how much that improved your defense. So let him pick the guy that he thinks is going to fit with them the best. as offensive
Yeah,
coordinator and go that route. I think but it is Jerry Jones, so you never know. But I know what you're going to say, and I agree with you to a point.
I think the only way that he's gone is if they get an opportunity to get Peyton. If they get an opportunity to get Sean Payton, then I think there would be a possibility. Other than that, I think he's going to stay. McCarthy will be.
Yeah, you could be right, but it's gonna be interesting. What do you think for the AFC and NFC Championship game? Who are you taking? Start with the AFC or wait, NFC plays first. So we'll start with the NFC.
Okay.
Eagles 49ers. I think it's at 3:00 on Sunday. Looking forward to watching. It's going to be a great. It's real quick. It's a great weekend if you're a sports fan. You got Royal Rumble on Saturday night and 2 championship football games on Sunday.
Yep.
So fun weekend.
I think I'm gonna go with. I think I'm gonna go with the 49ers.
I'm going with the 49ers as well.
But don't get me wrong. I think it's a pick 'em game. I'm just gonna go. I'm gonna go with the 49ers because I think that's what I would rather see. Now at this point, I mean, of course, I'm a Colts fan, and we stuck up the play this year. My original pick for the season was Buffalo, start of the season, and they got put out. I think it'd be a great story to see San Francisco and Purdy win one. So I mean, I'm kind of rooting that way, but it's not a big deal to me. Bengals would be a good story. They're pretty close to Indiana, and for a lot of years, a lot of people were Bengal fans around here. Bears are Bengals fan because
we didn't have to want no Colts team,
and so I mean, I think I'll go with the 49ers.
Yeah, I like the 49ers as well. I think it's going to be a game a lot similar to the game we just saw yesterday with 49ers in Dallas. I think it's going to be I think it's going to come down to whose defense can hold up the best as well, and then if turnovers.
Mistakes.
And I think the big thing for the Eagles is going to be their rush defense. Can they keep San Francisco from running the ball? If San Francisco can run the ball, I think they're going to put up some points. They got to do what Dallas done pretty good shutting the run down until the fourth quarter. Then Mitchell started getting some runs, but I think that's going to be the big key for Philadelphia. You want to try to make San Francisco one-dimensional team and make Brock Purdy have to beat you. Hey, don't get me wrong. Brock Purdy's been playing great, but he's still a rookie quarterback. You want to make him beat you. You don't want to let McCaffrey beat you and Deebo Samuel beat you. You want to make the rookie beat you.
Yeah.
And hey, he might. And I think I like the 49ers. I've been on the 49ers all season. And I think Purdy is going to play another good game like he's been playing. But I think a lot of it's going to come down to that, what the Eagles defense can do against the 49ers rushing game. And then for the 49ers, can they slow down the Eagles rushing game and make the Eagles make Jalen Hurts beat you throwing the ball?
Which Hurts can throw the ball, don't get me wrong, but he needs that running game to help set it up. So, the San Francisco, I think, number 2 in the league against the run, 20th in the league with the pass. So, who knows? Philadelphia may come out trying to attack them passing. I think they got a pretty good coordinator there. I think it's going to be interesting on both sides. I mean, I think the Eagles are going to have their hands full with San Francisco, but I think San Francisco is going to have their hands full with the Eagles too, possibly. So I don't think there's going to be a lot of touchdowns. I think it's going to be like that Dallas game, maybe a little bit more scoring. But I think it's going to be a good game.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think it's going to be a real good game as well. And then the AFC game, I think has potential to be a really, really good game as well. I think a lot of it depends on, again, Patrick Mahomes' health. I think that's going to be a big thing in this game. But man, the Bengals look so dominant last week. And if they play like that, I think it's going to be tough for anybody to beat them if they can control the line of scrimmage like they did that game. Can they do that consistently with three backup linemen and everything? I don't know. But I'm going with the Bengals this game. They beat them earlier this year. They beat them the last 3 times they played them. And you got a Mahomes that's coming in not at 100%. So I like the Bengals, which I've been on the Bengals too. I've been saying 49ers and Bengals in the Super Bowl. So I'm going to stick with them, but I feel good about both of them, but I think they're going to be both real good games. I can't say either, like if the Eagles won, it'd be an upset. No. I don't think I think either team could win.
Yeah.
I like the 49ers, and then I like the Bengals.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Bengals also. I'm gonna go with the Bengals and 49ers, but I wouldn't be shocked if it's Eagles and KC. So I mean, it's you got 4 pretty even teams there. You got
Is it to the point where we got to start looking at Joe Burrow maybe as the best quarterback in the NFL?
I think if Burrow wins this game here and goes to the Super Bowl again, I think you have to say he's the best quarterback.
Go to 2 Super Bowls in your first 3 seasons and back-to-back Super Bowls, especially if you can win this one.
And you would have beat Mahomes, who's supposed to be the best 4 times.
Yeah. And beat him in the AFC Championship game twice.
Yeah, so I think you would have to say that. I mean,
I mean, you beat him in the AFC Championship game last year, so I mean, I would, if somebody told me they think that Joe Burrow is the best quarterback in the NFL right now, I wouldn't argue with them a whole lot.
No.
I think Mahomes was the MVP this year. I think Mahomes is great. But I mean, I can't argue against Burrow being better than not being better than Mahomes. I think he's right up there. But if he wins, he wins this game this weekend, he's definitely up there. And then if he can go on and win the Super Bowl, But man, that Bengals offense just looks so smooth and easy on Sunday, and it seemed like Buffalo was fighting for every yard they were getting, and it seemed like it was just so much easier. The Bengals were in such a better rhythm.
They got two running backs that can perform. They've got 3 receivers who are all pretty good. They got a pretty good tight end. I mean, they're not really weak. The offensive lines have been strong for them, of course, but they, even though with the injuries, they stepped up. Look what they did. So the defense is playing their best football at this time. Right now, they're playing their best football again, like they did last year. This year, they're playing their best football at the end of the season.
Nope, I agree. And then, I think you got to have Burrow right up there. That defensive coordinator for the Bengals, I'd be looking at him as a head coach as well, because what he's done with that defense has been great, and their offensive coordinator has been real good as well. I know he's been interviewed for some coaching jobs.
Who are you leaning towards? Change the subject, but not really, because I'm going to say who I'd like to see. I'd like to see a Cincinnati offensive coordinator as the new head coach of the Colts.
I would like. I wouldn't be against it.
I don't think they're going.
But that's not what I think is going to happen.
No, I think I'm going to become a bingo fan, because I know what you're going to say.
Because I wouldn't be mad at all if what's his name? Is it Callahan?
Callahan.
Yeah, because I think he's a great offensive coordinator, and I think especially if they decide to go to the young quarterback route, it'd be great. But even if you decide to try to get a Derek Carr, I still think it'd be good, because you got an offensive guy and a guy that's proven that he. I mean, hell, look what he's done with Joe Burrow. Joe Burrow is good, don't get me wrong, but you also we've seen quarterbacks with bad coordinators and coaches underperform a little bit as well. So, but you know what I think is going to happen. I think Jeff Saturday is going to be the next. And I'm a big Indianapolis Colts fan.
I'm a Jeff Saturday fan, but I don't know how he comes in and you lose 7
games. Oh, yeah, I like Jeff Saturday. Nothing against Jeff Saturday.
How do you get the coaching job if you lose 7 games? I mean, you fired.
The bad thing is, and I know he lost 7 games, but if you look at the games, they were so competitive for like 3/4 of all them games.
But then they collapsed.
Yeah, you had the Cowboys beat. You should have beat the Cowboys. You should have beat the Vikings. I mean, there's playoff teams that they should have beat, and they blew. And hell, they beat the Chiefs. And I know the Chiefs helped us a little bit with some dumb penalties and stuff, but it's just like you seem so far away, but you're also not that aren't that far away if you can clean up some mistakes and stuff. But I think it's hard to justify hiring Saturday after losing 7 in a row and the collapses, but I think that's what's going to happen. I've heard reports he's already been looking into like who he would hire as his coordinators and everything, and all the reports I'm hearing from like local reporters in around Indianapolis area and Anderson area, which we're about 45 minutes to an hour from Indianapolis, and then we're like 20 minutes from Anderson. But and a lot of the people that the credentialed media that I've heard from, they think it's Jeff Saturday, and
he's looking into coordinators. I'm looking to become a Bengal fan.
You ain't gonna become no Bengal fan.
Jesus Christ.
You're not gonna become a Bengal fan.
I can stick it out with the Reds all these years.
I was gonna say, if you're still a Reds fan, you can't leave the Colts yet.
All the punishment I've took with the Reds the last few years.
And then the Pacers here, Pacers have been doing better this year.
They're doing better, but
we're having a rough stretch right now. Lost what, seven
Well, we lost Halliburton.
Yeah, but he should be back here pretty soon.
I hope so.
Right now, we still be in the play, and I think that's better than what most people expect anyway.
Yeah, but we
Yeah,
were about
but- oh,
we
yeah.
were about fifth or sixth position.
Yeah, but we're playing some of the teams in front of us here coming up in the next couple weeks. If we can get some wins,
They get healthy.
but yeah, we need Halliburton back healthy. That knee injury sucked. But no, I'm looking forward to the NFL playoffs. I was watching Pat McAfee and Aaron Rodgers was on there last Tuesday and was talking about if he was going to play again, if he'd be at the Packers and stuff. And I think he's going to play. I think the question, what I got out of the way he was talking, the big question is if it's going to be at the Packers or not.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you what, I wouldn't be mad if the Colts could somehow get him for a season.
Yeah,
I wouldn't be mad at it. I mean, if you get that run game going and with that defense we have, I think it could be a good thing.
Yeah, they might hire Hackett.
Hire him as offensive coordinator. Shit. Jeff Saturday is head coach, Hackett as offensive coordinator. Colts will be the fucking laughing stock of the NFL.
No shit. They're pretty close this year.
Houston took care of that a little bit for us.
Houston beat us.
Well, that's true. That's true. Fuck, that is true. But Houston won. Houston won the game that cost them a #1 pick.
That's true.
So that
help us get the #4 pick.
Yeah, obviously we're going to be 5 or 6. We ended up at 4. Hell, we should have won that game. So we should have really been at 5 or 6.
Yeah.
That ball goes through our defender's hand and right to fucking. It was Texans. What? Yeah, it was Texans. They beat us to fucking screw up their #1 pick.
Yeah.
The ball went right through the defender's hand too. Because we didn't get to see the play live. We got to see it when we got home.
Yeah.
Man. Let's talk some wrestling. Monday Night Raw. They had the 30th anniversary show tonight. Hey, Pablo, calm down, buddy. We have the 30-year anniversary show tonight. Man, I thought it was real good. Especially, I thought the first 2 hours was real solid.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. Third hour, I wasn't paying as much attention as I did the first 2. I did see Brock Lesnar. I mean, I saw the big moments, but the first 2 hours, especially that first hour, I thought was awesome. The Bloodline stuff was great. Sami Zayn and Paul Heyman were great, like always. I thought Roman was great too, and then I loved Jay. That Jay was the one that stood up for Sami. I thought the story was told great, and I'm looking forward to Saturday night for the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, the opening segment was great. The tag team match to continue the story and continue to tell the story was great. I even liked the what they did with the Undertaker coming out and
that was awesome
and being the American Badass Undertaker, which I think was the right move, considering he retired and became more of himself. I don't think you needed to go back to the other part, to the other Undertaker, and having Bray come out basically as himself, and looks like maybe the torch was kind of passed a little bit. So I think that was cool. I think it was smart. I thought the first hour was perfect. Some people might say it wasn't enough wrestling. I thought it was great storytelling, what it should be. First hour I thought was perfect. Second hour I thought was okay. The third hour I thought picked back up again. 3 hours is tough. I think if it had been a 2-hour show, I think it could have really been fantastic. But it was a real good Raw. Got to see a lot of the old faces, and I thought they did pretty well with that. Getting to see Ron Simmons and the Godfather, and I thought it was all pretty good stuff. I thought it was a real good show. I'm really excited, and I know I'm part of I listened to Busted Open, and I'm part of their group, and looked at the chat and stuff, and everybody was excited. Everybody's excited for the Royal Rumble. I know it had the group chat had almost 1,000 comments today. Usually Monday Night Raw has about 300, so it had a lot of comments, and most of them were positive. Except you get a few trolls in there occasionally, but that happens. But it was all pretty positive, and everybody's excited for the Royal Rumble. I have no idea who's going to win the Women's Royal Rumble. Who's going to win the men's? I have no idea.
Oh, I don't either.
I think that's a good thing. What direction they're going to go. Brock Lesnar showed up again tonight, and the crowd seemed pretty happy about that. And I'm all for seeing Lesnar and Bobby Lashley go out again. So I don't get tired of that. So
no, because you know it's going to be a hard hitting match. And that's what I like to see. I like when they get stiff. And
Yep.
you know it's going to be like that.
But I like to call back tonight in that tag team match where the Judgment Day here and that when they had that scramble match and they won it. I like that where it got called and Finn Balor got hurt and they let Dominic take his place. Well, tonight they did a call back and did the same thing and that the Usos switch out and that Sami Zayn take his place and I thought it was great storytelling. Sami Zayn right now, I think the guy, if there's anybody that should beat Roman Reigns, I think it should be Sami Zayn.
Yeah, I think it'd be awesome, and I think the fans would go crazy. You would get a pop. I mean,
the fans are going nuts for Sami Zayn. The fans are going nuts for Kevin Owens came out and made an appearance tonight. They're going nuts for him right now. Triple H doing a lot of things right. I mean, I'm not saying it's perfect by any means, but doing a lot more storytelling and stuff's making a lot more sense than it used to. I think that's the biggest thing. With Vince not being in charge of creative, even though he may be back in the company, he's not at this point. He's still not in charge of creative. So, and they've been selling a lot of tickets. I know Royal Rumble sold over 40,000 tickets there at the Alamo Dome. So, WrestleMania sold, I think, about 110,000 tickets for 2 nights, about 55,000 for each night, and ain't even named a match yet. So
40,000 tickets.
So, yeah, I was pretty happy with Raw tonight. I never thought. I mean, I was surprised they opened with a trial of Sami Zayn. I thought it was done perfect. I haven't seen really anybody say anything bad about that segment. Everybody pretty much loved it.
Yeah, you know, I said that even I turned on Fox Sports Radio when I was out in the car earlier, and forget the guys that were on there. It's Jason Smith and Mike Harmon. Okay. They started at 10 o'clock after Rob Parker and Chris Broussard.
Yeah,
the odd couple. But I couldn't believe turning on Mike Harmon and Jason Smith. They're talking WWE Raw. They were talking about the segment where $1 Million Man lost all his money playing poker. Then IRS showed up and said, "Don't forget to pay your taxes." Took the money,
took all the money,
and then Ted DiBiase with his laugh.
Yep.
And everybody has a price, and they were talking about that. And then Ron Simmons was awesome because he just stood there and let it build up and build up and build up, and everybody's just waiting on it. Then he came out with the big damn, and then I mean it was. I thought that some of the guys they brought back, it was cool, like bringing Angle out with DX. I thought that was pretty cool.
I think the only downside I would say to Raw tonight, if the reports are true, they're supposed to have the cage match with Becky and help me with her name, Bailey, and they end up just doing a beat down, and the match never got started, and Becky got hurt, and the reason they say was that because the opening segment went way too long and they had to cut something and probably the cage match got cut. I thought there's other stuff that got cut, but I think they wanted to use the cage match during the opening hour because the opening hour was commercial free.
Yeah.
And that could be true. It could be Becky may have a little bit of injury. I mean, who knows what the truth is? That's what I'm saying. What the dirt sheets were reporting that things ran over a little bit. That would be the only downside. And who knows? They may did after the show went off the air. They may did the cage match for the audience.
Yeah.
There in attendance. But Philadelphia crowd seemed like they loved the show. Was pretty into it. So it was pretty good. Another guy that was outstanding tonight was Paul Heyman.
Oh yeah, and when Sami Zayn was standing there and Paul Heyman or sitting there and Paul Heyman was saying all that to him, just his facial expressions as well, and then Heyman.
Well, even more of the facial expressions. How emotional he looked when Jay took his side.
Yeah,
I mean, he really looked emotional. Yeah. I mean, he sold it so good. So Sami Zayn.
He sold it so good that he made it seem like real life, like it was like it was really. You know what I mean? He was really on fucking trial.
yeah, it really did. So it was really good. All of them I thought did a great job. So I mean, I thought it was really good.
Oh, I did too. I thought it was real good. I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to Royal Rumble Saturday night. We're actually going to do a watch along for it Saturday night. I'll be making a graphic of what time we're going to go live. I'm going to get with the guys. I'd like to go little early, maybe go around like 7:30 and do a little pre-show and
Yep.
maybe give out our picks of who we think's going to win the Royal Rumble and stuff.
The prediction who could be
yeah.
surprises in it.
So I'm gonna talk to them guys. Well, even if they can't get on 7:30, if they say they can't get on 8, we can start it at 7:30.
Well, just like
we're going to do a thing with the guys from Unscripted. We're going to do a watch party and live reaction.
I think so far, I think there's only like 7 or 8 women been announced. So there's like 22 positions they haven't even, haven't even announced yet. And the men's have probably not more than 15 have been announced for the men's, if that many.
Who do you think would be a big men's, maybe a surprise?
The one that I think of is the Great Muta. Somebody's never been in WWE, just because Nakamura went over and did that show over there with them. I think maybe in return he may come make an appearance over there. I mean, I don't know. I think it would be great for a Muta to come over. I think it would resonate with the WWE crowd. I would think.
No, I agree. I think that'd be cool. I think maybe Pat McAfee could be somebody because I think he's gonna be coming back soon because the college football's over with now.
Corey Graves could be one. I could see jumping in there, and I'm sure there's others.
Maybe one of the Paul brothers.
Yep.
I know somebody earlier had said Bad Bunny.
Yep.
I mean, you never know. I think it would be cool to see Bully Ray. But like you said, they'd offer him to come to Raw, and that didn't work out. Yep. So who knows? I mean, but you never know.
Do you see somebody like maybe Mickie James or something? She's a champion again over there, and
she came over last time and brought the belt with her.
May see her again. May see a couple more Impact people or something. Who knows? You know what you might see.
Shit, they need to call a couple of these independent women in Indiana to come out and be a part of the Royal Rumble.
I wish.
There's a couple of them I think are good enough.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I know a few of them. I can name probably 2 or 3 off the top of my head that I think are good enough. But no, I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble. Cody Rhodes, you think Cody Rhodes going to win it and get that championship shot since he got hurt?
There's that story there that they want to tell, with Dusty and the old time and everything. So a lot of people are picking him to win it and picking him to win to beat Roman Reigns. So I think that's possible.
I think with this story right now, I think it has to be Kevin Owens or Sami Zayn that beats Reigns. I think what you said earlier, if Sami Zayn beats Roman Reigns and tries to take over the bloodline, I think you can make that story cool as hell. Or what if they split it, the bloodline some, and it's going to be Jay goes with Sami.
Yeah.
Who knows what they're going to do?
Yeah, and then you got to remember, there's other members out there, not members, but other family
that they
could even bring in. So
I wish they'd bring in that Jacob Fatu.
Yeah, he's really good.
I was real impressed when we got to see him.
Well, I'm excited that the MLW signed a TV deal with Reels. I didn't realize Reels was as popular as it is. I guess they say when you look at the USA and TNT, they're like number 11 or 14 in the cable networks. View-wise and stuff. I guess Reels is like top 30. So they're a lot better than what Vice, and they were on MLW, tried to be on Vice, and some things happened there. They're on one of them sports stations, BN or something like that. It's like 130. So they're going to a station that's going to get views. That one TV show's on there, that cop show's on there that me and your mom watch that she loves so much. Does real well on that channel. And the fact that MLW is going to get on there, a lot more people is going to get to see Jacob Fatu. And then there's another guy on there named Alex Hammerstone. He's outstanding also. That a lot of people don't know about. So that's going to be one problem MLW is going to have with getting more views.
We'll go back to the Rumble in a minute. I forgot something about Raw. What'd you think of the Bray Wyatt and Undertaker and that LA night, that whole segment? I thought that was real cool.
I liked it a lot. I thought it was done real well. I thought if Undertaker was coming back, he didn't need to come back as old Undertaker. He needed to come back because he pretty much let that go and doing these one-man shows and talking a lot more and stuff. So if you're going to have him come back, I think the American Badass is what he should be. Even if it's just come back for a few appearances. I mean, I'm not saying he's going to wrestle again. I don't think he's in wrestling shape. His arms look pretty big, but so did his belly. So I don't think he's in wrestling shape. So I don't think he's going to wrestle again, or at least not right now. Big rumor out on the dirt sheets is that Stone Cold's been offered possible even a WrestleMania match against Roman Reigns. And that would be interesting.
I think that'd be awesome.
I would sell a lot of tickets.
Yeah, I think that'd be awesome.
I don't know how you get there.
Yeah.
Do you have Stone Cold win the Rumble?
Yeah, you could do that. Have him come in around 28, 29 or something, win the Rumble. And then
come in 30, win the Rumble. I mean, yeah, so.
I don't know. It's going to be interesting. I'm excited for it. Royal Rumble's always been one of my favorite pay-per-views. It's my favorite pay-per-view to watch.
Yep.
I mean, other than WrestleMania, of course, WrestleMania is one you always look forward to. But other than that, Royal Rumble's always been the one. Survivor Series used to be right up there with it, but I was a big fan of the old school Survivor Series matches.
I mean,
but I thought this year's Survivor Series was real good. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah.
I think Royal Rumble's up there a little higher up for me than.
Yeah, I agree. But the thing of it is, I mean, everybody can say what they want about Vince, and I agree with a lot of it. I thought he was getting a little outdated and maybe having some memory problems and some things, whatever. But WrestleMania last year, in my opinion, was very good, and he was in charge then. So I'm really excited to see what Triple H is going to do.
Yeah,
if he's in charge of creative and with WrestleMania, because I thought last year's WrestleMania was one of the best WrestleManias, probably top 5. I thought it was really good.
Oh, it was real good.
Entertaining, a lot of good matches. It had a little bit of everything.
It was real good. I slept through a match because of my damn medicine.
Yeah.
I think both nights.
Yeah.
But it was because that was when I was just getting adjusted to it. But no, I'm looking forward to it. Was there anything else you wanted to talk about before
I think I'm good to go.
Before we get out here for tonight? We'll be back. Well, we'll be back on Wednesday. Dad won't be with me on Wednesday because he has to work. So I'll get somebody to join me. If not, I'll go solo for a night. But we'll be back Friday. We'll talk. We'll talk NFL football. We'll talk some more WWE
SmackDown.
We'll talk SmackDown. Talk Royal Rumble. Like I said, we're going to be live doing the live watch party and live reaction to WWE Royal Rumble on Saturday night on the GonzoSportsRoom network, ASAP Sports Network, and the Unscripted Network as well. So I'll be putting out a graphic for that on our social media. Please subscribe on YouTube, follow on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, all at GonzoSportsRoom and at the All Sports All Plays Network. We greatly appreciate it. We appreciate everybody joining us. We'll be back Wednesday at 11 with another episode of G.S.R. GonzoSportsRoom. Hope everybody has a great Monday night, and we'll see you guys Wednesday.